Alright, good morning, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm Michael. Check out the other videos, I'm sure you'll like them. There's lots of content based around rebuilds. Particularly the last two video series have been on jet skis, but we have some other stuff coming up which will be other small engine and engine based sort of rebuilds. So, what are you up to this morning? Let's have a look. So this is what we got up to yesterday. This is as you would have seen in the video, this is the tacked together new version of this. I want to get these bolt holes drilled out first things first, and then I can work on getting these. And the barking you just heard was Nim. She's chasing something in the background, so she's still here, still making noise. Those of you commented on the last couple of videos in the background, she was going crazy on a rubber chicken. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to start by literally tracing these holes, and I think that this is probably going to be the best way to do it. Now obviously they're not going to be exactly center, but I'll get it fairly centered, and then I'll because the holes are going to be bigger than the bolts anyway, so they can slide through nice and easy. God, the mosquitoes are bad today. Last couple of days they've been horrible. Alright, lift that off. There we go. So I've got 4 holes that I can now drill and get set up. Let's drill those. Punching a nice center hole for the drills to sit in, so you don't walk all over the place. Even though with steel like this, you don't generally walk if you've got good sharp drill bits, but just gives us something nice to start with. These are the bolts that were through the original one. These hold the engine to the bracket, so I've just got to drill a hole big enough for those. And I'm going to use a step drill bit here, might just be a bit quicker. Beautiful. Just clean it up a little bit. I reckon I've caught the side of something there, maybe a bit of weld. There we go, beautiful. Okay. Drilled. Okay, so I'm just looking at these engine mounts, and as I thought, I had a feeling there was 2 different angles on these engine mounts. So you've got fronts and rears, and if I push those 2 out the way, I'm hoping that you can see the difference in the angle that the rubber faces. So the straighter ones, which will be this one and this one, these are the rear mounts, and the ones with more of a twist are the front mounts, because they basically turn to face the center of the ski more. So I'm just going to sit them into place and then have a look and see how the engine mount I just made looks. So I'll just lean you forward a bit. So hopefully you can see. So I've got the 4 engine mounts in. Went slightly differently to what I thought. The 2 funny angles were there and the square ones were there, but that's okay, just the way it's moulded. So I'm gonna sit in now my little my little engine bracket and see how that looks. Alright, so that's my bracket sitting in there on the rubbers. Sits quite well actually. I've just got to work out now the markings for these so I can drill those and just make sure bolts will go through correctly. And then bolt it in and away we go. Let's do that. So I've done a measure on these. Just see, I'm going to drill a slightly smaller hole first, and then I'll be able to line it up for the old bracket, but we'll do the same process as what we did before. We're drilling a hole. Okay, so I've just clamped this together, because pretty much any way I can do it with only one set of hands. I don't know if you can see or not, but the top one, those top 2 are absolutely perfectly lined up with the bolts coming through. The bottom one, if I can do this one-handed. This one here is a couple of mil off, and this one here is a bit more, so that's probably the worst one. So I'm just gonna draw on those a little bit so I can see which way I need to trim them. You guys set back up again. So really this one needs to be coming out like that a little bit more. That. And this one's just a tiny touch off that side there. Which is fine because the bolt that we're looking at using, I'm going to change over. It was a pretty small bolt. I'm going to jump it up to something a bit more like this, something it's easy to get to. So by the time I take that out, that'll be basically spot on. All right, let's do that, and then I'm going to sit that in. I'm going to sit it in and possibly even sit the engine on it as well. Let's see how we go. So the engine sits in, which is great. We'll have to do a little bit of cleaning up around the edges of those mounts. As you can see, I'm not going to leave them square. I'll round them off so they look nice. I can't really get you a view of the other side, I don't think. In there, you can see the stuff under there, into my finger. That engine mount there works well too. So what we're going to do is pull that back out again, and I'm going to weld all that up and then put a coat of paint on it. Like that. Looks good. Alright, so I've ground back the welds as best as I need them to be, and I've also just hit the steel to rough it up with a flappy disc, as you can see. So then I just took off some of the high points underneath. Some of these points just here where it had the possibility of sitting crowd. So I'm going to hit this now with some cold gal, which is a black cold gal, but still cold gal. So that way it's protected. All the welds and the holes that I've cut to expose the insides of the steel will be protected. And then if I want to paint another colour at another point, I will. So let's get a coat on this. Every piece of metal. I will do more than one coat on this, obviously. So if I do miss any bits, I'll be able to see it. But that's a recoat after 2 hours, so we'll see how we go today. It's quite a bit cooler today than what it's been the last few sort of days here in Melbourne. We've gone from 38 yesterday to, what's the weather here today? 38 yesterday, it's currently 23, so let that dry off a bit, and then we'll put another coat on. Alrighty, so second coat of cold gal black colour on there. Cut pretty good. Not that you'll probably ever see very much of it. You might just see the last little bits of the edges, sort of these parts down here. I might change the colour, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to blend in with the colour of the hull, or maybe I want to put a gold accent on it. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Gold or just leave it black? I think if it's blue it might just blend in too much, so my plan is to do a few gold accents on the outside of the ski as well. Gold handlebar. I actually potentially thought about maybe gold, doing something different, like making the jet housing gold. Don't know, just bling it up a bit, something different that I haven't seen before. Like, you know, a bit of fun. So yeah, so engine was in the ski. You got a sneak peek of that before when it was in there, what it will look like. So brackets done, engine's painted and ready to go. So I'm gonna wrap this video up here, I think. It's a bit shorter, but I want to edit this today and then get it up tonight for you guys, because I'm heading away for a couple of days. Then I can come back and kick back into this again. So what else can I tell you? We saw the mounts in, gonna clean them up, make them look all whiz bang again. So yeah, so that is a wrap on the painting, I think, until we get stuck into a few other bits and pieces. Okay, so back on the bucket for a quick recap of where we're at. So engine's painted and it's come up pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest with you. There are a couple of spots that'll need to be touched up, and when I slid it into the hull before, I did put a bit of a scratch in the black, which I knew was going to happen, so I'll just have to touch that up, which is fine. I haven't cut and polished the ski yet. So that's painted with a bit of gold bling on it. I've made the new engine mount here, as you saw, which is fine. It's come up really good. Bit of black cold gal on it, that's great. So you saw that in, sneak peek of what that looked like in, which is going to be the next video. The next challenge I'm looking at is, and I'll get some, love to get some comments based on this. This is the nose, sits on the front of the hull, obviously. It does need some fiberglass repair, which we'll just jump back into that for probably half an hour or so, doing a bit of repair there, but I'm not sure what color I want to do this. The red definitely won't go with the black. Like I said, there's a gold handlebar going on it. Should I do gold with some stickers on it? Gold with some blue stickers, gold with some silver stickers. I don't know, I'm still gonna put some sort of livery on the side of the ski as well. I had thrown around some thoughts of silver, sort of matte silver finish, reflective kind of silver finish stickers on it. Not sure, really not sure yet, but this one, this will be the last bit to be attended to. So in the comments, let me know what you think. Color, stickers, sticker color, Love to hear your thoughts. So thanks again for watching, everyone. At the end of the video, you'll see a couple of little cards which takes you back to the start of this series and also to the start of the other series of the XLT 1200 that I did. There will be some playlists soon on the channel too, with all of the stand-up skis in that playlist, and then all of the 1200 stuff in that playlist, plus a few other bits and pieces that I've done. I've got a bit of stuff to do on the trailer. I finally got some bits and pieces for that. I might make a video on it. I might just do a quick time lapse with a bit of music over the top of it, so at least if anyone was interested, they can see how that came up. I'm going to do a bit of aluminium MIG welding on it, so I might just make it a bit of a welding video, like aluminium welding video. There's not too many I've seen with the MIG in practical application anyway. So yeah, so thanks for watching. The next video will be out next week, and have a lovely weekend. Have a great New Year's celebration, whatever you do with your family, friends, whatever it is that you choose to do. Have a great time, have a safe time, and I'll see you next week.